Welcome to Dad Plays Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Now I know that number, 2021, might sound a bit old, but this is a good game. I've been playing a bit recently, so we're going to play it now. We're going to choose a mode. Easy is too easy. Normal, I'm going to play normal. So, we don't want a tutorial. We're going to get stuck straight in. So this game is you're a car mechanic. That's the ins and outs of it. Okay, welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. This is your new garage. Take a look around and get to know your new workplace. You have at your disposal an old adapted gas station, surroundings, complete orders, purchase and renovate cars and expand your garage. Good luck. Okay. So, we're here. We can't. I think we can't go outside this area. I'm guessing. Oh, we can. We can. Oh, we can go up to the road. Hello. Full service repairs, fluids, brakes, engine, transmission, snacks, Wi-Fi. Oh, we have snacks and Wi-Fi. That's good. There was a gas station. It's no longer a gas station. We've got an open sign. You can't go in through that gate. So we've got doors here. We've got garage doors. Let's take a look around. We'll have a quick look around outside. There's a construction zone there, nothing there. Those are empty and out of use. That's all out of use. There's a back door there. So, a shipping container over there. That becomes relevant. Yep. Let's go in here. So we're in. We've got candles. I don't remember the candles being there before. I don't know why. Anyway, big workspace. Lots of junk here. This is all useless to us. Oh. It's Halloween when I'm recording, that's why there's candles. That wasn't there the other day. Okay, that's going to confuse you in the future. Nice posters here. You can't get through to that gate. There's a toilet, you can't use a toilet. We have our workbench, we have a computer. We have a phone, we can take in orders. We have a car lift. So first thing to do, have a look. We've got to get a job, right? There's two jobs available. So these ones highlighted in sort of purple blue, they're story missions, and they progress the story and you can get lots of XP for them. These ones that aren't in that sort of blue purple color with a timer counting down, these are just quick jobs that come in. So this one you can see highlight has got a brake highlighted, so it's going to be this car that needs its brakes doing. I can accept this, it'll come in. Poor brake performance list provided. So poor brake performance, they're coming in, they want something with their brakes. You do that, nice and quick, easy turnaround, very low money. Story one's the way to go. Let's have a look at this. And 77 Luxor Baron. Interesting. It's normal, it's a story order, no bonuses. Repair parts of minimum condition, unknown. Hi, I was just passing by and I noticed your repair shop. It's good that somebody took care of the old ruined petrol station. The car that I'm coming in with today is quite a recent purchase. It was used on a daily basis. The condition is rather okay. It'll be good to check the oil level and tyres. That should be no problem for you. If you manage, then perhaps this won't be our last meeting. See you. Change oil, drain oil and refill the new. Other tasks. So let's take this order. And we're back outside, and here is this beautiful car. That's a mess, isn't it? So if we right click, I can go to car status, right? Every car that you work on has this status page. You've got your car informations, which tells you the car, the model, its mileage, factory things, possible color variants, the original factor color, oh my goodness, I cannot speak. Color variants, as they would have been from the factory. The colour this was from the factory and its current colour. Where this particular car came from, so this is a mission, and where you can find it. So if I want to get my own, I can go to the barn or the junkyard or the auction and have a chance of finding this car. Now, conditions, this can be important when you're doing up your own cars. Body, 44%, parts, 43%, frame, 45%, interior, 45%. So it's a bit of a rubbish car. Let's have a look at the engine. So it's a V8 OHVSS. That's the engine type, and this was the factory spec. We don't have any way of... it's got no swap options, apparently. Well, none we know about. I don't know if that's accurate. if it has none, or just we don't know about it in this mode. We have no way of measuring the power and the torque. We've no way of doing the dyno on it. This is the issues to fix. So here we go. Repair with parts of minimum condition 46%. So these are the things that need repairing on it, and we have to get at least 46% of what we've got. Reality is we've got nothing in stock. We've got no used parts, so we'll be buying everything brand new. So it's all going to have 100%. That's the same text we read before. So these are the jobs for that one. We've also got to change the oil, which means we've got to drain the old oil and refill it with new. You can't just top it up. And the other task, change the brake fluid. So we've got to drain it and refill. Change the power steering fluid, drain it and refill the windscreen washer fluid. So the windscreen wash doesn't need draining first. That's nice and straightforward. Okay. So, and then the other one here is CR. CR, I think it's just credits. That's just the money. So call it dollars if you want, or pounds, whatever. Story order. So at the moment, we've got no payout for any of this. But as we complete stuff, it'll tell us what the payout is. Now, there's nothing to stop you from doing more work than is on the list here. Obviously, that will cost you money, but you won't get any, as far as I'm aware, you won't get any extra money in from this. So, only do what's necessary. It needs 46%. So if we had some brake pads in stock that were at 50%, maybe we took them off another car, we could use them on here for free without buying new brake pads if they're above 46%. Because we don't, we'll have to buy brake pads and pay for them, plus it's extra cost. But as long as you're over 46%, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't make any difference to the money you get paying in. So you could get all of these numbers up to 100%, but we would simply be losing money. Okay, now, so let's take this inside. So if I click on here, we say move the car, and we're going to put it on the car lift. And we're inside. I've got 4,000 credits, which sounds like a lot when you consider that this car is... I can't see how much this car's worth, actually. But it sounds like a lot, right? If we have a look at this toolbox, this shows the upgrades you can get. So these are personal upgrades. So as you level up, you get skill points and you can get more stuff. So this column is all about moving faster, which is nice. This is the renovator column. So you get the ability to fix stuff. Now it talks about group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and body parts. What's in group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 isn't specified in game. You can have a look on the wiki and find out. But you would need the skill points, and then you'd need to upgrade your workshop to be able to do that as well. So it costs quite a bit of effort. Fast hands. So this is all... Oh yeah, so that was runner, and that's all of those. This is renovator. Fast hands. This is about your screwing speed when you're undoing bolts and screws and nuts and stuff. And as you get more of these, you get quicker and quicker and quicker at doing the job. Strong arms is all about mounting and unmounting. So that's once you've done the screwing or unscrewing, it's about putting things on and off the car. So getting those up makes the job go a lot quicker. That's cool. Regular customer, so that's discounts. Parking alley cheaper, so you can pay for parking. So when you start getting your own cars, you can only store a certain number of cars here. You can pay for a parking alley to store other cars. We get another discount. Good judgment. It gives you the ability to inspect the value of a car. That's useful when you go out and buy cars. So if you buy cars that you want to do up, you can know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. More discount and more percent chance of mysterious cases. And this last one, Eagle Eye, is about how long it takes you to examine a part. So this one reduces it by 5/100th of a second, which is not a lot, but when you see, if you do inspect stuff, examine parts, that adds up. The other thing, right? So that's your personal skills. Garage and tools. So we've got garage expansions, and then we've got tools we can get. These are quite useful. We've only got 4,000 credits, right? But so the first one, you've got garage expansion. Allows further development, so that makes your garage bigger. We've got a lifter, so we add a second lifter. Now this is a single player game and you can't hire staff, yet actually that ends up being, I end up using that quite a lot. And once you've got a lifter, you can get customizations, which is the look and feel. That's purely visual. Paint shop, level 1, 2, and 3. That lets you respray cars. Dyno, that lets you measure the power of the car. So if you end up tuning cars, you can see how good they are compared to factory spec. Salvaging, yeah, okay, that's not actually all that useful. If you've got parts, you can scrap them and you get salvage out of them, and then you can use salvage to upgrade other parts, which makes a bit of difference to cost, but it's not. I've not found that to be massively useful. A car wash allows you to clean a car inside and out, which is quite nice. And when you're doing your own cars, cleaning the inside of the car adds value. Test path. So there are various ways of testing what's broken with the car. The test path does part of that. It also does wheel alignment and headlight calibration. And then there's warehouse, which as you saw, is an extension to your inventory, but it needs the garage expansion. Cool. That's all out of budget at the moment. Over here we've got tools. So we can get a tablet for 500 credits, so we don't have to keep going to the computer to buy stuff. That's quite useful. It's not particularly expensive. Onboard diagnostics. This is another way of finding certain problems with cars. That can be really useful. Fuel pressure meter, another way of. So the onboard diagnostics for newer vehicles that have got an OBD port scans for certain parts. Fuel pressure meter scans for different parts in the fuel system. Electronic multimeter scans for different parts. Compression test, again, these are all ways of diagnosing. So these 5 are different ways of diagnosing problems with the car. So they all come in useful at different times, okay? The tablet just saves your time. Later on, if you get the garage expansion, you can get the brake lathe. Lets you restore brake discs if you've got the appropriate skill. Workbench allows you to fix mechanical parts if you've got the appropriate skill. That doesn't say renovator required, that one does. So maybe the brake lathe you don't need the skill. I think you probably do, not sure. Welder is, again, when you come to do your own cars, that's quite useful. It lets you fix the frame of the car. Charger, if you've got dead batteries, fixes the batteries. Engine tools, there's an engine stand. That's useful. So you can work on the engine while it's in the car, but actually it's easier to take it out, to remove it from the car, put it on a stand and fix it there. Body repair station. Again, so you can take bits, doors and bonnets and trunks and stuff like that off the car and repair them. Again, if you've got the appropriate skill. And window tint car windows. I've never actually used that, if I'm honest. But although we've got 4,000 credits, it sounds like we could get a bunch of this. I'm not going to, because when you work on a car, you have to buy all the spare parts, pay for them, and then when you have completed the mission, you get paid. So you need to have a healthy balance. Now, in this particular case, we're only doing brake pads, fuel pump, oil filter, air filter, and 4 tyres. That's probably not going to be an absolute fortune, but these fluids are all free. Don't worry about them. But that's yeah, interesting. So let's take a look inside this hood. This is where you live when you're working on stuff, and you can see everything's a bit mucky here and covered in rust. Additional tools. We don't have any tools. We've got the drain tool. We'll deal with that in a minute. What I'm going to do. We go back to here. You can highlight these, should you desire, and now you can see the various bits that need fixing and replacing are listed. Okay, are highlighted. So if I take this air cover off, we can see the round air filter 2 carb And in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see it's 21%. That is something that needs replacing. So what I'm going to do is press X to add it to my shopping list. And I'm going to remove that. Then there's nothing else. I'm not going to do the tyres. I can't. Let's go down here. So you can see that oil filter is highlighted. We're going at 9%. We're going to replace that. So I'm going to add that to the shopping list. We're not going to take it off yet. One, I can't until the car's in the air. Accessible from under the car on the left. But also we have to drain the oil before we do that. Okay. We've also got the 4 tyres. And at the back here, you can see the fuel filter, fuel pump. So let's add that to the shopping list and we can remove that. Okay. So that's everything we can do here. So exit out of this mode. What I'm going to do is get this up. That takes it up 1 level. And then we're going to say all the way up into the air. Now, we need the oil drain. So move that to the car lift A, or car lift 1. And then use it. All of that. Oh, you see the colour of that? Disgusting. Right, now, reset that, put that back. So this has now been emptied of oil. So we can take this oil filter off. Wonderful. And actually, I'm going to put... It wanted 4 tyres, so I'm going to put the tyre on the shopping list. And let's go shopping. I think that's everything we needed. Oh, brakes, wasn't it? So I'll tell you what, let's take this tyre off. So these bolts, the ones in yellow, they're easy to take off. This one is rusted on, so we need to put some penetrating oil on. And now we can take that off. If only it was that easy in real life. Okay, so the tyre is off. We know that needs replacing. We've got the brake caliper. We're going to take that off. Not because we're going to replace that, but we want to get to the brake pad. And you see that's 15%. So I'm going to add that to the shopping list. So I think brake pads, fuel pump, oil filter, round air filter, and 4 tyres. That is, if I have a look at our shopping list, air filter, oil filter, fuel pump, brake pad, standard tyres. We have everything on our shopping list, so we can now go shopping. So we're going to go to our computer, and we're going to go, first of all, we're going to go to car parts, our main shop, and we're going to say, right, filter by tab, shopping list, round air filter 2 carb. Let's click on that. This is 40 credits, so we start with 40 grand. This is a nice straightforward, so we're going to buy one of them. And we're going to remove that from our shopping list. Oil filter for the V8, 15 credits, and buy one of them. And remove that from our shopping list. Fuel pump, 120 credits, one of them. And remove that from our shopping list. Tyre, can't get on this shop. Okay. Brake pads, we need 2 of them. That's going to be a total of 80 credits. We'll remove the brake pads. So for tyres, we have to go to a different shop, which will be Tyres and Tyres, tyre shop. So if we go to our shopping list, it's a standard tyre, and that comes to here. But we have to say how many we want, which is 4. The size, width, and profile. Now, that is here, but there's no way of clicking there and getting that filled out. You just have to remember. So that it's a size of 15 inch, and it's 215 by 75. 15, 215 by 75. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, 680 credits. So we'll buy that. So we've just spent on this first mission, the simplest of missions we've had so far, story missions, we spent almost a quarter of our money, almost 1,000 credits. Okay. So let's replace the bits we can. So we're going to go on to here is where that fuel filter should be. So if I go into part mount mode, this is add part mode, click on that oil filter. So we've got the 9% one which we took off, and we've got our 100% one that we added on. So we're going to add put the new one back on. And now if we look at car status, that oil filter has got a nice green tick on it. We can unhighlight that. Fuel pump, brake pads, air filter. Okay. Let's go to, let's add the fuel pump. Add the new one. And while we're here, we're going to remove this brake pad. And then we're going to add a nice shiny new brake pad. Add those calipers back on. Now they're 41%, they're quite low, but they haven't been identified as wanting changing. So we're going to leave them, and we're not going to we're going to have to replace that tyre, and you have to mount the tyre on the rim. So we're not going to touch that yet. So we're going to go into part unmount mode. We're going to get all these, we want all 4 tyres. We remember our order. That's one. Number 2. Number 3. This is quite loud in my ears. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, and then let's get this final tyre off. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to turn off the ones we've done now. Those are the brake pads, and we've got to replace that. Okay, let's have a look at these tyres. So in this corner, we've got our tyre changer. We're going to say separate parts. So we've got these 4, when they're grouped like this, it's got these 2 together. So it's saying this tyre is on this rim. We've got 4 of them. So we're going to say, take that tyre off the rim. So take that off. And then we're going to say do the same again. And this is a wheel balance, so we'll get onto that in a minute. So we can do this for all 4 tyres. And now we're going to say, right, we're going to reinstall. So we're going to say, take this rim, which we've not been asked to replace. We're going to keep them, and we're going to put this 100%. So we took these 17% tyres on. We're going to put 100%. Oh, no, we're going to select the wrong ones. 100% tyres on. We're going to have some beautiful tyres. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to install that one, and then I'm going to come over to the wheel balancer. And that one we've just done. This icon means it's unbalanced. I don't know if you know this, but wheels they're never perfectly balanced. So, and they'll do this in a tyre shop, not with the graphics like this, but they'll put weights on to balance out the tyre. So that one off, let's install on there, and then we'll balance this. We're doing 2 things at once. We're just that good. And that's that last one, and then we've got... And we'll balance this last one. Oh, this one took 3. Sure there are professionals watching this going, yes, this is realistic. So if we go to our inventory, you can now see we've got these 4 tyres on rims, and they're coming out at 71% total for the group. So that's 100% tyre and 46%, something like that. Rim, that's fine. We've got these 4 tyres that we've taken off. That oil filter we took off, the fuel pump we took off. That air filter we took off, that air filter we're going to replace it with, and that air filter cover we're going to replace it with. 1 brake pad we've taken off and replaced with another one, and brake pads that we're going to replace the other one with. So that was a really weird way of me explaining what we're going to do. So let's put these tyres back on. Okay, go over to this tire. And put this on. Okay, let's go to this front tire. We'll put this one on. And we're going to go to this tire, but we've not done the brakes on this one yet, this side. So let's take this brake caliper off. Take these 14% brake pads off, and then we'll go into mount mode. Put the brand new brake pads on. So we've got 2 new brakes at the front. So whoever drove this is going to be stopping faster than they ever thought possible. We'll put those tyres on. Excellent. So if we have a look now, that brake pad's done. Those tyres are all done. All we've got left is the air filter to put back on and some fluids. So let's get this back down to ground level. And we'll put this back on. Put the cover on. Wonderful. So that's now all of that work done. Change the oil, drain the old and refill it. Well, we've drained the old oil. We've finished with our work here, so we can put new oil in. So if we go the oil filter plug, we'll go to unmount mode. We'll take that oil filter off, and we can put some oil in. Now, fluids for us in this game are free, and when the thing moves like that, it basically means it has now got a sufficient amount of oil in. We check the dipstick. Look at that, halfway between, in fact, more than halfway between min and max. We're doing good. So, done. The oil drain, that's ticked, so we've still got other tasks. Brake fluid, power steering fluid, and refill the washer. So, the washer fluid is there. So in the same way we did the oil, we're just going to fill up with windscreen wash. Now, you saw how the tub moved down. That says you've got enough, so we've now done what they've asked. You can carry on going. We can fill out more. And if you overfill, it just kind of bubbles. So there's no downside to that, it just takes more time. It's probably full. So the power steering and the brakes, we're going to do them, but we have to go into the drain tool. We're then going to take all the power steering fluid off, all of the brake fluid off, and then we'll go back into the normal mode and we're going to fill up our steering. And we're on minimum, above minimum. There we go. Same with the brake servo. Fill up with some brake fluid. Now this game, you can go above the maximum level on most of these things. The game doesn't actually care. But if we have a look now, we've now done all of our tasks and we can finish our order. So let's have a look. So we've spent just 6 credits shy of 1,000 credits. And we are going to get 935 for that, 25 for changing the oil, 65 for the other tasks. Now those other tasks are actually free, it's just time for us. We're going to get a task bonus of 600 flow-through credits, I don't know why, job bonus. We're going to get a total payout of 2,106. So that is, you take off the slightly less than 1,000, that's 1,112 credits we've made in profit. If my maths is correct, yeah, look, our credits have gone up to 5,112. But not only that, if we have a look at our inventory, we've now got a bunch of this stuff. Now, we're never going to put anything in the red. As far as I can tell, anything in the red just means it's broken. In its effect, it's stuff, right? So we can sell it with 3 credits. Not a lot. Same for these 14. 14 for these tires. Not a lot. 3 for that. 14 for that. 1 credit for that. 10 for that. 4 for that. That's not a lot of credits, but it's some, and it frees up our inventory. We also got this case, this mysterious case. If we open that, we get a little game. We get to pick 2 cards. So I'm going to have that middle card. That's giving us 39 credits bonus, and this one here, which will give us 6. That's scrap. So you remember I was saying you can turn old stuff into scrap if you buy the upgrade and use that scrap to upgrade parts in the future. So that's just scrap. And we're now done with that mission. That was our first episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next time. We'll get our second job and see what we can do to expand the workshop.